All right, guys, welcome to Visiblepreneur. I almost wanted to say take number two. He knows what I mean. So, welcome back, and today I have with me the Micheal Tobin. That's right. He's also a great entrepreneur, and also too he owns the Backdoor Comedy Club right here in your local O'Fallon, Missouri. How cool is that in the St. Charles County? So, Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, awesome. So I wanted to dive into the comedy club. Like, what got you started into that?
Well, the short answer is I was in there for a networking group, and the owner, Todd of Tap House, said, "Hey, I'm looking to rent the back half." I walked back there, and yada, yada, yada. We had a comedy club in 3 months. It was in that, you ever walk into a place and get that just the vibe of, oh, I know what needs to go here, and then you just make it happen, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I did on that. But the comedy club is a little bit deeper than that. Like we were just talking. I've been doing business coaching, and I'm a certified life coach.
Yeah.
And one of the things I wanted to bring entertainment to St. Charles County, but one of the bigger things is I saw a need just from listening to a podcast on about comedians who do very well with telling the jokes, but they're terrified of selling their wares, merchandise
Oh
and
yeah.
everything. And so that's one of the things I'm like, oh, I could help somebody with that. So that's a part of my mentorship to the comics is to help them grow their business. Also is to find comics here locally and get them out to other clubs and get them more from a local to a regional and help their business grow. I can't teach them how to tell a joke. They can do that much better than I ever could because I'm not funny. I'm just funny looking. But anyway, that's kind of the answer on that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So going into the business coach, because that was something I was like, oh wow, what has been your experience in doing that, and how did you get into that?
Well, I think I got into it just because my dad was always an entrepreneur. He was one of the original builders out Lake St. Louis,
Yeah.
and I kind of grew up in that. And he's always was always doing something. So I kind of it was like osmosis. My dad did it. And then I just in my mid to late 20s, I was talking to a friend, and I had this idea about home automation, and he was a builder, and he said, "Oh, just go do it." And so, silly me, in my 20s, being young and all, I just went ahead and did it. So I actually quit my job and started going out after builders and anyone that wanted to have home automation. This is back in the 90s. It wasn't like the home automation of today.
Yeah.
And I was very successful very quick because I found a niche of like the upper end, homes, and it was kind of crazy. And then from there, I just kept on whatever my heart desired or the passion popped up. I followed that, and I never gave up. There was only a few times throughout my whole career that I actually worked for somebody. Most of the time it was for myself.
Wow. Wow. That's very interesting. So what it sounds like is that you pretty much you got into the entrepreneur world, the world of business, and you just said, okay, I'm gonna stick with it, and you're gonna find out where exactly this is going to lead you.
Right. And that's the people that sometimes I speak with that want to be an entrepreneur, but because they want to have a better life for themselves and their families. And the first thing you sit down is you got to figure out what's passionate, for you.
Yeah.
And because you can't just go start a company, and if you really don't have the passion, there's going to be failure on your side. And so, that's where, it's not for everybody. You gotta want this, because one of the things that I've sacrificed is, like one of my friends put it best. It's like, Michael, you're always riding a roller coaster. You're either way up or way down, and that is entrepreneurship. You can't, because when you're on your own and you don't have that 9 to 5 check, you gotta figure it out. You got, at the end of the day, you gotta still make money, and everybody can do that, but it takes some gumption and a lot of passion, a lot of heart.
Yeah, and you definitely poured quite a bit of that in because, as I know you do your business coach. Obviously you run the comedy club. Where do you see yourself going?
Wherever I
So,
want to go.
all right.
Yeah, my end game, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
basically, I'm kind of there. I wanted to do this comedy club, for the comics, and to have something fun to do, and bring entertainment. But I also wanted something that was going to be easier than, running a restaurant, or doing something that you got to be there 24/7.
Yeah,
Because that was, I was in the trucking business, and that was literally 24/7. And you get calls all night long. So that with comedy, I was kind of hoping that would be my retirement. We were going well until COVID hit, but we're coming back. We're bouncing back really well now that we're reopened and everything. So yeah, it's just, I'd like to build up the club, help others, and then get someone maybe at some point to run the club, so I don't have to be there every weekend.
oh yeah, yeah, and you're well on your way to doing so. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
So, what has been your experience like going through networking? Like when you first found out, oh, there's networking. What was your experience doing that?
Well, I've been networking for over 20 years. So, uh,
Wow.
yeah, I was doing networking, before there was any networking groups. You'd go to, there was always these business after hours things, and you just show up, and there'd just be all kinds of things. And it goes back to the same rules apply. You gotta build a relationship with somebody before they trust you, right?
Exactly.
And so, it's all about the relationship. Now, I get it to the point where, um, not every networking group works for everybody. There's little niches, and you just got to go out and find them. And it's kind of like, keep on doing, um, going to different ones and find what works for you. That's just a part of. But yeah, networking in that realm. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I answered your question or
No,
what.
you did. You did. Yeah. So I actually didn't know that you've been networking that long because obviously it's way longer than I have. So any tips and tricks? This is the guy to ask right here.
Yeah, I've pretty much seen or done everything, and also made every mistake there is. So, the best thing to do with networking is go in there and just meet a friend, and don't worry about business. Don't even talk about business unless you're asked about, what you do. Always, you know, find out, what the person you're meeting does, and ask the questions, more questions, because that's, you're going to see, oh, I really like this person, or you find out, yeah, this person is not someone I want to hang out with or do business with, because that's another thing about being, an entrepreneur. You don't have to work with everybody,
Yeah.
and that's when you are trying to make everyone happy, and we are all, you know, trying to make people happy, but you can't make everyone happy. So you have to do what's best, what you think is best for you at the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I truly love that. And like you told me earlier, this was a whole different situation that you'll figure it out as a person. Like, whether you're going in life, business, etc., that individual will figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was well said. And thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, I definitely wanted to ask, going into like your business coaching, um, what has your experience been like, coaching someone on, okay, this is how you structure yourself, or, talk about that.
Okay. Well, one of the things when I got into business coaching, I found that, and I'm working with smaller, like one person, that has a business,
Yeah.
before they even grow into having a group of people they manage. One of the things I kept running into is their issues. And so that's why I started doing studying and actually got certified as a life coach, because I found that a lot of people's what held them back was themselves from fear, having anxiety. They're so scared they can't take the next step, or they think they have to have everything figured out before they can launch a business. It's so not true. I mean, if you have an idea and just jump in, and in the very beginning, before you make any money, it doesn't matter if you have a website, business cards, or anything. The best thing to go out networking and say, hey, this is, don't even say this is a business. Say, this is what I'm thinking of doing. What do you think? How does this sound? And then build from there. Take some suggestions other people give you that you trust, that you might look up to, and then build that little nucleus, because everything starts with you and ends with you. And if you think of yourself as a foundation for life and for business, if you are not content in who you are and how you live your life, you're going to start off on the wrong foot, and you'll probably go down a path that isn't exactly what you want to do in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I really like that. And so with that being said, what were some of the mistakes that you've made, and how did you make the recovery from that? Like, or I should say, how is it that you learned from the mistakes that you made?
Going back to my first business, which was a home automation, I was really, really good at, if someone said, "Oh, I want to, control these lights," or, the biggest, coolest thing I took this. I had a 10,000 square foot home I was working in, and the guy said, "I want to." It was back when Nintendo was hardwired; there was no wireless, and he'd like, "I'd like to have my son be able to play his Nintendo in any room." And so I actually made Nintendo wireless before it was wireless.
Wow.
And so I was always good at really thinking those things out, but I was horrible at accounting. Because I just didn't know. No one ever taught me how to do that, or managing people. I was a kid. I couldn't, and I was hiring people that were 20, 30 years older than me, and I didn't know how to do it, and they didn't have the respect because I had zero confidence. So that was some of the biggest mistakes, and it held me back from growing that company. And to be honest, I ended up just working myself so hard, I got burnt out, and I ended up selling the company, which was awesome. I actually did really, really well with it.
Wow.
But and I don't have any regrets because it led to so many other new opportunities. But if I would have known now what I knew then, or knew then what I know now, flip
Yeah.
that. Um, I would have known how to ask for help. Because one of the biggest things entrepreneurs think is I can do it all on my own. And that's where business coaching is. I don't sit there and write out your business plan. That's your job. But I'm a good sounding board of, hey, this is what I want to do. Okay, well, let's try this, but this is what you might run into, or, because every situation is different. But that's one of the reasons why I became a business coach, because I kept seeing people going, oh, I want to do this. And then they have no clue, or like I said, what bounces in is, I don't know if I can do this. This is too much for me, because it becomes very overwhelming when you start scaling a business. And it doesn't even have to be a big scale. It could just be a little scale. And it gets scary out there.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So you've definitely seen it all. Like for those that have started the small ones and then just pretty much just grown it up there. Like you've seen it.
I have, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And that's if you look at my background, I don't have a certain niche for business. I went from home automation. I taught home automation across the country to electricians, and then went into mortgage business.
Oh, wow.
And that led me into running a restaurant, and that led me into a courier company that I built into a trucking company, and then worked for another trucking company and ran my own division, and then business coaching, and then now I have a comedy club. So you can do anything. I guess my point is, doing all those different industries,
Yeah.
you can do anything you want. You just got to have the heart to do it,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and a little courage to say, "What the hell," and just jump into it. But it's I couldn't have done it without the knowledge of what I learned throughout the years.
Yeah. Wow. That's Um, so I also wanted to ask too, because you're a family person as well. Are you getting the support of family? Like, do they see your vision in where you're wanting to go? Uh oh.
uh, that's the thing. I started a comedy. I've pretty much done everything, and then went back and told my wife I was doing it, and she knows I just do things like that. So she it scares the hell out of her. She's very much like security, and sometimes I take away our security because I want to go do something. But the thing is I've been doing it. I'm 53. I've been doing it 30, almost 30 years. So we're still around and we do fine.
Yeah.
So I get the support of my family. They think I'm crazy, and, and it's funny. It's like some of my extended family. I don't think understands what the heck I ever do for work. So, uh, yeah,
Oh, yeah. And from what I hear is that you are showing them in what you're basically showing them what you're doing. And to be honest, whether they tell you or not, they truly see the success in you. Wouldn't you say?
but yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're proud of me. I don't know.
No, I'm definitely gonna say they are proud of you. You just don't know it.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to be a little humble here.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's okay. This is all about you.
It's all about me.
Yes. Oh man. So I also wanted to ask you too, because you said you were a certified what was it?
Life coach.
Certified life coach. Yeah. What got you into that? That was so
Well, that
big
was
change.
I kind of touched base a little bit, but it was finding out that people are screwed up. We're all screwed up. And then, honestly, how screwed up I was. I went and found out how unhappy when I really started getting to know people's personalities and everything. I
Hmm.
found out how unhappy and sad I was. I was very, very, I was suicidal, at times. And so I had to work on me. I spent basically 2 years working on me. I still work on me, but I mean, really pulling back and the layers and seeing what is wrong. Why can't I be happy and content? Content is a huge word. If you are not content with yourself, you can never make anyone else truly happy, like in a relationship or whatever. Um, and you become, I think this is what I was like, I would go out into social gatherings and I would suck the happiness off of other people. I was a taker, and that's the worst thing to do. And so that's what really got me into life coaching, and I really did a 180. And you don't live a perfect life, but you start looking at the world differently, and that's where when I talk about pulling the layers back, I got rid of toxic people in my life,
Yeah.
and the people that constantly like pull you down,
Oh my
and
gosh. Yeah.
make because those people, they're jealous of you because they see that you're going somewhere and they don't like it, and so they want to pull you into their darkness. And then if you let them, then you're just killing yourself. um, so when you can push those people away, and that's hard. It's very hard. I had to push some pretty good friends away and family that just I can't be around you anymore because all you do is make me sad. And then once you do that, then all of a sudden there's a light, and it's a you just kind of go towards that light, and you just and the way you get in the if someone goes, Michael, I am there right now, I don't know what to do, start reading books. Kind of before we started, or actually I think it was in take one, I told you about finding your why. And if you Google why, probably the most it'll come up. It's Simon Sinek's about the why. Watch that video. It's 18 minutes long, I think. It'll virtually change your life. It'll teach you what the why means, and he talks about a little bit about it, in a business atmosphere. But you can take that and figure out what your true why is in life, and once you can do that, that's your compass, and you just kind of follow your why, and then you know who you are. You start to begin to learn who you are, because as a child, we all grow up and our parents tell us who we are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and not that that's always wrong, but it's not who you are. And so then from your parents, you start listening to everybody and saying, or trying to emulate them. And, there's good and bad to that. It's good to, excuse me, it's good to look at somebody that you really admire and try to emulate some of their characteristics, but don't try to become them. Still be your authentic you. And that's another one. So being content and being authentic.
Wow, that was very, very good. Wow. Yeah, you're probably one of the best motivational guys I've ever had on here so far. Like,
Oh, thank you.
and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, as we were just getting to know each other, like before the podcast, this is mind blowing. Like, I really didn't know that you're this much uplifting. You've had lots of experiences trying other things. Like, this is really good. Like, this is the guy right here. He's the dude.
Oh, shucks. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. And that's what all I want to do in life is help people get where they want to go. If it's comedy, if it's their business, if they need a ride to the airport, I just want to get them where they want to go.
Yeah.
It's a little joke at the end there. But
Yeah.
Uber joke.
Oh man, yeah, that's funny. So last I wanted to ask is how does someone follow you? like where can they go to follow that? Like whether that be backdoor comedy or
Right.
just
Well,
doing your business coaching.
I'm on Instagram, Facebook, of course. There's Micheal Tobin. Um, I have the Tobin Company, uh, which is Tobin Company is my business and life coaching.
Okay.
So I'm out there on social media. Just gotta Google me.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome. And thanks for being a guest on Visiblepreneur. It's been really exciting, like really, really exciting.
Good.
So,
I'm happy. Thank
uh,
you. I appreciate it.
oh yeah. And of course, as always, don't forget to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you're just interested in the audio only, check out the Anchor. We're now officially on 8 different platforms. So that's I believe iTunes is on there. Again, don't quote me on that. Google Cast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, new one. So we're pretty much out there. And thank you for watching, y'all. And take care.